Hello, my brothers and sisters in Christ. Welcome back. So this coming Sunday is going to be Palm Sunday 2025, which means next week is Holy Week. So the readings for this Sunday are down in the description, and there you'll find a link to the U.S. Conference of Catholic Bishops readings for Sunday, Palm Sunday. And there's a lot of reflecting that can be done on the Palm Sunday readings for this year. So I'm not going to. That's right. I'm actually not going to be reflecting on the Palm Sunday readings this week before Palm Sunday. I'm going to be working on preparing myself actually mentally and spiritually for next week, Holy Week. There's some really important things personally for me that I'm going to be trying to do so that I can get the most out of Lent and carry it through into the rest of the year, and so that I can get the most out of Holy Week. And I really beg you to join me in this. And so this is sort of a part one in getting ready for Holy Week, and then next week I'll be going through what I'm actually going to do during Holy Week, and that's a whole separate thing too. So firstly, for this week, getting ready for Holy Week, I'm going to first start by reflecting on my time this Lent so far. So what has God pointed out to me during this Lenten journey? What has He pointed out to me, to myself, about me? What has He pointed out to me through other people? What has He pointed out to me through homilies? What has He pointed out to me through the things I've consumed, such as listening to Catholic podcasts, Catholic media? What has God pointed out to me in how I've observed others' interactions with each other? What has God pointed out to me about myself in my reflections on the kinds of, other things going on in this world, and sort of how I've taken them in and what that tells me about myself? What has God pointed out to me, and have I paid enough attention to it? Have I successfully fasted the way I initially intended? If I haven't, why? What happened? What does that tell me? Was I too ambitious? Did something come up? Did I get in the way of myself? What got in the way? What prevented me or impeded my fasting? What made it difficult? What can I learn spiritually and intellectually about myself on a spiritual way so that I can better myself, not just in this Lenten journey, but throughout the whole year going forward and throughout the rest of my life? Have I given alms this Lenten season? If not, there's still time. If I have I given as much as I initially planned? If not, why? Is it something where I'm just trying to pay attention to some changes that came up in my life, and I'm trying to make sure that I'm using the funds God has given me in a way that's prudent? Maybe I am. Maybe I'm not. I don't know. That's something I would have to sit down and reflect on in prayer and with intellect, as you hopefully will as well. Have I gone to confession? Hopefully every week. If not everybody does. Not everybody can get to confession every week because of locations or schedules, etc. That would be optimal. Hopefully, though, you've gotten to confession this Lent, because it's best. The Church recommends Lenten confession, at least, for your at least confession once a year, at least during Lent. So, have you gone to confession? If not, there's still time. I recommend it. I implore you, go to confession. It can be intimidating if you haven't gone in a while. I know. Go. I promise, Jesus is waiting for you there with His arms wide open. The prodigal father, the father of the prodigal son, He's waiting for you. Arms wide open. Get over to confession. It's worth it if you haven't gone. Same thing for myself. Reflect for myself. Have I gone? Have I not gone? If not, why? And if I haven't, get myself over there as fast as possible. Have I taken time? And this one might be a little bit surprising, but have I taken time, even just once during Lent, to let my mind linger on God, the Holy Trinity, in longing love, as I would have let my mind linger on a crush when I was a young man, say in middle school or high school, and just think in love and in longing about God, the Holy Trinity, and long for Him as the Holy Trinity just because He is God, just because He is who He is. Have I let myself just linger on the thought of God in that way during this Lenten journey? If I've done all those things, awesome. Thanks be to God for those graces and blessings. If not, something to reflect on and think about and see how I can do some of that in what time is left during Lent. After that, though, my next important part of getting ready for Holy Week comes in two pieces. It comes in reflecting on how can I prepare for meditating on the passion of Jesus during Holy Week. So what can I do during this week to better prepare myself next week for meditating on the passion of Jesus Christ during Holy Week? And secondly, what more can I get out of Lent spiritually in what time is left? And another way to look at that is, what more can I put into Lent in what time is left? And finally, the last two, and potentially, arguably, some might argue these are the most two important questions, is what do I need to do to extend my Lenten spiritual growth these past 40 days out beyond these 40 days? So what do I need to do in order to extend this Lenten spiritual journey and the growth I've just had forward so that I keep growing on this, what's started now? Keep growing these seeds, keep watering and pruning what I've started working on these past 40 days. And then what do I need to do in order to not lose the graces I've gained during this time by surrendering those parts of myself to Satan or worldly things after Lent ends? So, in other words, what do I need to do to be more vigilant about how I act? What do I need to do to be more vigilant about what I consume, what I say, how I carry myself, what I dwell on, and all of these things going forward so that I can hold on to and foster a more saintly lifestyle and grow closer to God and share that with others going forward. So the reason for that, and it's just a reminder, an important one, is that Lent it's not just sort of another step in the year to get to Easter and then get on with your lives or our lives. That's not how it works. I mean, that is a mindset that Lent is just another piece of the year and you move through it and you move forward and you go through the motions. That's not healthy spiritually. That's a spiritual rot. That points us down the path towards hell, unfortunately. If you're just going through the motions, that's not good. It's dangerous. If you're not moving closer to God, you're moving away. Lent is a lot more than just another step, another thing you have to do during the year. It's not a checkbox on the checklist of what you have to do during the year. It's important. It's about us working to improve ourselves for Christ and to draw nearer to Him in His passion of Holy Week, and to work on recognizing the desert and its importance. And that desert doesn't need to just be during Lent. Having those deserts throughout the year is important. And having small Lents throughout the year is a wonderful practice and something we need to bring back. And that's something I'm going to be talking about at a later time. And it can be really uncomfortable to be in the desert. And it can be really uncomfortable to follow Christ into these desert-like places, these hard places, these rough places, especially because it often calls us to let go of things that are comfortable, to let go of things that are worldly and just, they seem nice. They're not nice. They're not good. They just seem that way. And if we let ourselves follow Christ into these deserts, these Lenten journeys, earnestly, even if it's not comfortable, and let Lent remind us to do that, we can let ourselves be changed to be more like Him. And that's wonderful. That is good. That is nice. Is it necessarily pleasant? No. But I don't think silver that's being refined finds at the fire a pleasant place to be while it's being refined. But it's a more pure silver when it comes back out of the furnace. That's important. I hope that made sense. That's what I've got for this week leading up to Palm Sunday. Like I said, I know this didn't have much to do, actually anything really to do with the Palm Sunday readings. It's my thinking on this week, and the time I'm spending this week during the week is going to be reflecting on Lent so far and getting ready for Holy Week and trying to make sure that I'm using Lent well spiritually and that I'm being attentive to myself and who I am and grounded here and now spiritually and not distracted. So please leave any thoughts or comments down in the comments section or any prayer requests. I pray for you always, every day during the Holy Hour. If you've got something from this, please hit subscribe for more Catholic Christian content. And if you like the video, that would be awesome. Just hit like and share this with anyone that you think would benefit from it, and please share this channel with anyone that you think would enjoy it or benefit from it. Again, I will pray for you if you've watched this, and especially if you've left any comments or intentions down below. I will pray for you and your intentions daily. Please pray for me. I'm Michael Davisikis. God bless.